Hello and welcome to the Queber channel. I am Jason, your host. I hope you're all having a wonderful, splendiferous day. Today is going to be a dark video. A video talking about mental health. So, I'll start off with the TDLR type thing. I'm okay. At the moment, I'm at a pretty level point. I'm very lucky, I say that, and most people think I've gone a bit loopy because I say that. But I am lucky. I have good friends around me. I've become part of a different kind of community that I wasn't part of before. And all these things have helped me. I I would say objectively, I can function. I can do all my normal stuff. I'm connecting with my friends. I'm doing all the things that are part of life. But let's talk about the stuff I deal with on a daily basis, which to me is normal. Every single day, something will trigger me. And first of all, another disclaimer. I'm not the worst off. I'm not in a terrible situation. I am, by my own definition, lucky. I have a house. I have a wonderful dog. I have amazing friends. And that matters. It matters a hell of a lot to me. Sometimes when I can't do something for myself, I can do something for my friends. But every single day I deal with problems. I have seen things in my past that are always going to be with me. I've been told many times that my autism, my bipolar, my PTSD and my ADHD are just the baseline. My body, my brain function in a way that mean I have very good memory recall when it comes to long-term memory, which is a bad thing when the memories you can recall have so much pain and suffering in, and grief. My short-term memory is the first thing that's always been shot and always will be shot. I have to really engage with something or a person to remember them. I have to connect in ways that most people don't. I have to put effort into it because my brain, my short-term memory is so messed up, and this is a base problem. I had to stop playing Minecraft because it was becoming exhausting. Because I can't remember the recipes. And I don't mean, I haven't played for a few months, I can't remember how to make, what recipe is to make a sword or an axe or anything like that. No. I mean that I will be sitting in front of the computer. Minecraft will be on. I'll have hit a few trees. I'll have got all the bits and pieces that I need. I've got some bits of rock. I've built my first crafting table. Now, I'll look at the recipe book in my inventory or the way it shows it. I'll see the recipe and the shape for the axe. I'll close it and open the crafting table and I'll have forgotten completely. The data isn't there anymore. It's gone completely. So then I have to look at the recipe again. A little bit longer. And then I go back. It's gone again. And sometimes I can have to do that 10 or 20 times just to build an axe to chop down wood. And it becomes harder to do. In the end, I was taking screenshots with my camera of the recipe, sitting my camera next to my computer, and then building it. And that affects every part of my life. I often don't know what day it is. I often don't know what month it is. Hell, I can freaking forget what year it is. But only if it hasn't been on my mind for a while. It takes me about a month for it to gel in that it's the next year. When 2026 starts, I'll have to do a lot of... it's 2026. Yeah, it's 2026. It's not 2025, it's 2026. I'll have to keep on doing it until it bypasses. The problem seems to be my brain is so full of noise, so full of distractions, so full of different directions being tugged at all times, that never settles at all, that for the memories of the normal stuff, the new memories, to get past all of that and to settle into the long-term memory takes a hell of a long time. It's like, one of the things I like computers is I can say to a computer, what day is it? The computer will tell me what day it is. Now, I might forget that instantly, so I will ask again, and again, and again. People usually get annoyed. People usually get annoyed when you've asked them the same question 20 times in a fucking row. Computers don't. But these are baseline things that I deal with all the time. I've always travelling a line, trying to keep my brain from slipping off into the darkness, or slipping off into the too hyper side, that I can become too happy or I can become too hyper. Too manic and depressed. So it's, on this edge in the middle of balance. Sometimes I slip off. I prefer it when I slip off into the positive side, but that comes with its own dangers, because then my risk versus reward side of my brain sort of goes quiet, and I will think I'm basically God and can do anything. That's the hyper super ninja, happy, can do anything and nothing's going to stop me side. But the dark side, if I slip off into that, that's also very bad. Both sides can be life-threatening. The thing is, my brain has a lot of ammunition for the depression. A lot. My long-term memory is very good. You know, at one point in time, I thought having dementia, I don't have dementia, but having dementia would be fun. Because those memories would go away. Imagine that. Imagine being so fucked up in the head that you would want that for yourself. I'd want that for me if I ever lose control and all the coping strategies stopped working. Oh, I've got other thoughts that are fucked up. Like when I had bowel cancer and they got me in remission, I was sad because if the cancer had continued, it would have killed me, and I wouldn't have had to deal with reliving my wife's death every single hour at the start. When my wife died, I was there. I was in the room. I was the one who actually told them to stop trying. I watched it happen. About 4 weeks later, I was in a hospital for cancer surgery, and something about being in the same hospital, just one floor down and across from where Paola died, gave me massive hallucinations when they gave me some medication. When that medication was there because they had to basically cut a 29 centimetre wound into my stomach to get rid of the bowel cancer. So for months on end before we knew that the cancer was gone, my day was lived going through in PTSD. Everything would trigger it. Everything would trigger it. And I would just have, it'd start very simple. I would be back there. Just getting out of the car and running towards the ward. They had rang me at home, said, "You've got to get back here now. Something's happened." I ran into the hospital. I went up the stairs. I went to the coronary care ward. And yes, doggy. No, you're not having any sweeties this morning. You've had too many sweeties. That's why doggy's whining. And the thing is, how can I put it? I remember every moment of it, every sound. I remember walking up to the front door of the ward that has a security lock on, and you knock on. I remember the nurse that came to and says, "You can," because they knew my history and knew how much I knew about medicine, and that I had been a primary care. I had a choice. I could go to the side room, the quiet room, and a nurse would sit with me while they were trying to bring Paola back, or I could go to the room itself and stand there and be there with my wife. I didn't even think about it. I didn't make any decision. I just walked directly to her room, totally ignoring the nurse, just went straight there and straight in. I saw the amount of people in the room, and my brain said, "Oh, that's why these trauma-based rooms are so empty." I'd always wondered that. Why is there so much space, like 5 feet on either side of the bed, and there's no furniture in here except for a chair and one little place to put things? And it was so that when the crash happened, when the cardiac arrest happened, when the heart failed, they could wheel in all these amazing machines and try to save someone. That was the first thought as I went through the door. As I saw one nurse had the device and was reinflating Paola's lungs. One was, however, ready with an ultrasound, because I didn't realise. Yes, they use ultrasound. They don't wait to check with the stethoscope to, you see in the films when they put it on to see if they can hear the heart moving. No. They have the same kind of thing that they use, the ultrasound that they use for checking on babies, because and the way it goes is this. So they'll be doing the chest things, they'll be trying to restart the heart, they'll be doing all those things, they'll be trying to keep the breathing going. Then they'll stop. Every about 2 minutes, they'll stop completely. The ultrasound will be taken very quickly, less than 30 seconds, to check whether the heart's moving on its own. Then they'll give her injections of whatever they've got, whatever cocktail it is, to try and restart things, and then they're back to the trying to do it. And Paola came back twice. her heart restarted, but each time it did, it lasted only about 3 or 4 beats and then another cardiac arrest. Remember, Paola's heart was at 14% functionality before all of this. She had had a heart attack, a silent heart attack, which had damaged a lot of her heart. And because of her situation, which was the worst possible situation, because she had kidney failure, they couldn't use MRIs, they couldn't use CT, they couldn't use the dyes that would show them the heart in detail. They had to go old school, because the thing is, if your kidneys have failed, when you have a CT scan and all that, you have these dyes. You're given a dyes injection or a drink, or something. It depends where you've got to look. But you get these things, and then they had definition, and you can see things better. And if she had had those injections, those new chemicals would never have left her body, and basically her skin would fall off. Yeah. So they don't do it for people whose kidneys have failed. It's a bad thing. So they had to do old school stuff, angiogram stuff like that, threading a needle down through to the heart and things like that. It's not. I have that memories with me, and I'll always have them. But at the beginning, I was reliving that up to the moment that she actually passed, every few hours. And so when the cancer news came that I was in remission, I was really sad. And that made me feel guilty. I felt guilty because I was sad. Because Paola had died. Paola didn't have a chance of seeing the world now. But believe me, if your fucking loved one dies and you get PTSD and you see that fucking death over and over and over, it drains you. It wears you down. It doesn't matter whether you believe in the afterlife or what the fuck else. You just want peace. You just want it to fucking end. Because you can't cope. Now, thankfully, over time, using gaming, using technology and connecting with things, and having really good mental health friends, professionals trying to actually help me, I got past that. And I talk about it now without it triggering it. I talk about it now because light should be shined on these fucking events. Yeah, it's already 18 minutes long, this video. And we've dealt with very little of the stuff I deal with every day. Now I only have that PTSD event probably once a month, but it still wrecks me when it happens. I'm in a much better place now. All of the new things I've found, being able to listen to music now is real help. I love listening to music and I've missed it so much. I couldn't listen to music before because it all triggered PTSD and things like that and bad thoughts. You've got to remember, I spent 20 years almost in a hospital looking after Paola. Nearly every week we would be in hospital. Nearly every month there would be a stay in hospital. I got to know those places very well. I saw a lot of people die. I saw 178 people die. That may seem a lot, but that's just how it is when you're hanging around the main serious illness wards of renal and cancer. It happens. part of what drives me to make people smile, to be there for people, to help people, to care, to love. You would think that because I've dealt with so much tragedy, so much fucking pain in my life, that I would not want to put myself in those situations. Even now, I am still someone who is open to having a new girlfriend, and I probably end up being an online girlfriend because that's just easier these days. It's really nice when you meet another introvert who likes to stay in and be on their computer all the time. No, we don't give a shit about going out to the pub, going to the all these things. Why would we want this? We can watch a movie on Discord. We can play our games together. We can do things together that don't involve us having to go out where people are. Yes, doggy, you're not getting any sweeties. You're not getting any sweeties. I'm sorry. I'm not going to give you any sweeties until you've had your proper food. You've been skipping your proper food, so you're not having sweeties until the proper food is. No matter how cute and adorable you are not having sweeties. Sorry. Yeah, you're beautiful, but you're not getting any. No matter how. He's very good at this, but no. Come here. Come here. Oh. So. I'm in a good place. See, this is the thing with people who've dealt with trauma. We don't mind talking about these things. We don't mind helping other people. Pardon me. We can very much tell the difference between a drama queen and someone who's actually really dealing with shit. You don't have to be on eggshells around us. You're not going to set us off. Actually helping someone else, helping them deal with their trauma, being there for them, listening to their problems is good for us. It isn't that we search out people who are broken and that. It's just that everybody's broken. Everybody's got problems. And if I say people, how are they? Yes, some will just say, I'm okay. But when I say, how are you, whether it's in Twitter or Discord or anything, I actually would like to know how you are. There's a light isn't shined on mental health enough. I'll never be able to have a job and do those things. I would love to be working in cybersecurity and that. Oh, fuck me, I love it. I mean, the new community that I'm part of, all these wonderful people that I talk to, spend time around, they're so brilliant and amazing, and it hits my brain in places that go, yes, I want to do this, but I know my functionality, I know my limitations. Unfortunately, there's certain things that I can't do, like technology has to be a safe space for me. Technology has to be something that's thingy. If I wanted to have a job, I would have to basically have an absolute guarantee. The paradox is I'd have to have enough money to not need the job, to be able to take a job. That's the sad thing. I would have to be in a situation where if I had a bad day, or I had something stopped me leaving my house, or stopped me logging on, or stopped me doing what I had to do, or stopped me sleeping, that I wouldn't be losing my safe spaces. And so unfortunately that can't happen, but I can be there, I can talk to people, we can have fun, and I can read upon all the stuff, and it can be a happy place for me. My okay days would probably cripple some other people. Not saying they're weaker or anything, they're not, but they haven't dealt with what I've dealt with. And so, and I'm glad about that. I really don't want to. Knowing that someone else is dealing with the kind of shit I'm dealing with makes me sad. For someone to 100% understand what I go through means that they're going through it too, and that to me is a fucked up thing. No one should have to deal with the kind of shit that I deal with. My entire life is a coping strategy to survive it. Wow, we're almost 25 minutes. I'm going to stop this now. I could talk about this subject for hours, unfortunately. And I do say unfortunately, and barely scrape the surface of what I deal with every day. The routine I have to keep to. The backups of everything that I use. I have a computer down here, I have a computer there. I have everything in layers of backups in case something goes wrong. For some people, the idea that losing the internet or anything, then they'd be worried about other things. I'd be worried about my entertainment. I'd be worried about my computers not turning on. Not because I'm shallow, not because that, but because those things are treatments. Those things keep me stable. Those things allow me to function. They are not my hobby. They are I do this for 30 minutes and that helps my brain function for the rest of the day. So yeah, I know that if there's a disaster and things out there go bad and the power goes out and that I will be more concerned with trying to reboot and turn on make sure my soul is working, make sure my offline games are working and everything than anything else, because I have to do them every day as part of a routine to keep me. The sad thing is that when I'm in a relationship, things shift massively. They shift absolutely massively. This is why the isolation of things like depression, I always explain to people that this is such a bad thing. You are not alone. Other people are dealing with this too. You should not isolate yourself, because having someone there who you can talk to, you can be with, and you may think, oh, but that would be so depressing to be involved with someone who. This is the funny thing. Well, yes, I will share stuff with someone that I've gone through and that if they ask. But the act of having someone who you can be with and spend time with alters my mental landscape completely. I become able to leave the house. I remembered this morning something beautiful. In my younger years, I've talked about it when I've been out on the mobility scooter. In my younger years, I would always go from A to B. I would never think about the world between A and B. Whether I was going to school, whether I was going outside to do something in that. A to B, A to B, A to B. Keep my head down. Avoid people. Scout out areas so I could bypass where people walked. Walk down through the woods to get to places instead of along the road, because less chance of meeting people, and I couldn't deal with people. But when I was with Paola, that was the first time holding her hand and walking around the town. That was the first time I really saw the town. Holding on to Paola's hand I was able to look around, see the architecture, see the beauty. I can do that now when I'm on the Quingo because I've got a mobility scooter that's my safe space. I could do that if I had a friend to go out with outside. But it isn't just going out. At the moment, my online life is set into compartmental situations. I've got to spend 30 minutes doing this, 30 minutes doing that, 30 minutes doing that. But when I'm with someone, everything becomes more fun. My brain just enjoys. I can live in the moment more. I don't have to follow as many of the coping strategies. And having another person in my life, which the sad thing is, because I'm such an introvert, because I only interact with certain people and around people, it's very hard for me to get to a position of actually being with someone. It's why I am, even at my age of 55, I'm still open to finding someone online. The paradox is that most of the people that I connect with are younger than me, in their late 20s, 30s, because most of the people my age, this is not a broad stroke, but most of the people at my age are productive members of society, or are interested in assets and pensions and shares and going out to dinners and fucking going to the pub and all this kind of stuff that has no interest for me. That'd be fun. If I went out with someone, I'd probably want to play Pokemon Go in real life. If I met someone online, then we'd play games together and blow shit up. To me, that's fun as hell. It's always going to be fun. I love watching B movies. I love watching science fiction. This is the thing. If you find this person that you should be with, then it's awesome. Now you're probably wondering what happens to me if a relationship ends. How badly does it affect me? Thankfully, it doesn't affect me as badly as you would think. That's the interesting thing. My last relationship, we were together online for 4 years, which is actually quite a long time to be together. Perfect relationship. She was dealing with stuff herself. She was in America. I'm over here in the UK. We're both absolute and complete introverts and prefer being in our own house and prefer being on our computer than anything else. Yes, doggy. Both had dogs, and we did everything together. We met on Second Life. We played lots of games, 7 Days to Die, and that was our dates. And we watched film together, and we had date nights where we'd order each other food to eat and stuff like that. She's now still a very close friend. After 4 years, it just became that we were better friends than anything else. So, I always say the biggest problem is don't lie to me. Do not lie to me. I cannot forgive lying unless there's a hell of a good reason, and there has to be a reason that will fit with my brain. For example, my online relationship, when she first met, she told me she lived somewhere else in America rather than the place she lived. But she had been stalked. She had a bad experience with people. So until she got to know me, she told me she lived somewhere and didn't tell me a thing. Because I found out she came to me herself and told me about that, didn't affect me. But yeah, I'm always so fucking happy when I see my friends in relationships with people, because even though I'm an outlier and being with someone affects me so massively, everybody needs someone. I truly believe that everybody needs that. So when I see my friends and new people I meet and see that they're in a loving relationship and they with the person that they're meant to be with, you can just see I am so fucking happy for them. it makes me smile to know that there's people out there who've got someone. It's how it should be. Anyway, I'm going to stop this. I always ramble and I always go in directions that I didn't mean to. Bye bye for now.